So this is kind of just like, I'm getting ready to work bees today in my apiary. And so a lot of times people ask us kind of like what we'd like to do. And so this is kind of like getting ready for winter Florida style. This is what we do to kind of just make sure we're set for that. So first thing that we do, small hive beetle traps. These are the ones that I use. I like it because they're reusable and they work very well. I put a little diatomaceous earth in there. And as long as the diatomaceous earth is dry, it's effective. So a little diatomaceous earth. I do not put pollen in the center or feel the need to bait it at all. So just put a little bit of that in there. I put 2 per box. So if it's just a brood box, I put 2. And if it's got a super on it, I'll put 2 in the super as well. But these are my favorite style of small hive beetle trap. Make sure I have water with me. If you accidentally dump one of these in the hive, you can neutralize the diatomaceous earth by just using water. So it's pretty forgiving, unlike oil or some of the other things that you can put in there. We still treat for mites going into the winter. These are the thymol cakes. So they're natural. They just have basically made from the thyme plant. And let me open one of these out. And they have that mixed with some minerals and sugars that's actually really good for the bees. So that's what they look like. This you set inside on the top bars of the brood box. If it has a super on there, or for some reason you're not going to open it up, or whatever, you can always just slide this in on the bottom board and use your hive tool to kind of, set it on the bottom board, and then use your hive tool to kind of push it back in. That works as well. These need to stay in there for a full 22 days. Some bees will have it gone within 2 weeks, so you need to add another one. Other bees won't have it gone in 22 days, so they only needed 1. So it just depends on the colony. But that's our mite treatment for winter. These are the protein source that I like to leave in there. It's got probiotics in it, it's got microalgae in it, it's got prebiotic in it, superfood. These are the bee bites by Strong Microbials. So this is their protein source. So I put this in the brood box above wherever the main nest is. So we want this right over the babies. So that's where that goes. Now, I do not put this in there if they have a super on and I'm not ready to, and I'm still planning on harvesting some. We don't put anything in there if we still are going to harvest honey from that super. If the super is going to stay and I'm going to let them have it over winter, then I can add this to it. That's the protein source. Then this is, Strong Microbials makes a fondant. It's kind of crumbly, so I don't mind it. I've tried it a couple times. Some bees seem like they like it, others won't touch it. But a crowd favorite as far as the carbohydrate source, which is what the fondant is the Hive Alive. So this is the Hive Alive fondant pack. And I can just cut this and take a strip of it out and put it in there if I need it. If I was gonna leave this whole thing on the bees over winter, I just cut a flap around this logo, flip it up, and set this on the top bars. What I like about using fondant instead of syrup is that syrup can set off robbing. And the other thing about syrup is that if it's 50 degrees or less, the bees aren't really going to consume it. It's too cold for them to eat. Fondant stays good and warm because it's inside, sits inside, and it does not set off robbing. It's not got a strong odor, and they really love it. So this is my go-to as far as a carbohydrate source over winter. That being said, if I feel like they need a little extra, I might do an internal feeder of some syrup, but for the most part, I feel like this covers it. The other things that I again, don't put this on if I'm gonna harvest honey from that super. This I can use even if I'm gonna pull honey from it because they don't store the probiotics, they eat it. And so this is the DFM, which stands for direct feed microbial from Strong Microbials. I like this because it has a detox from pesticides. So this is the DFM that has what's called P801 in it. The P801 is the probiotic that helps them metabolize the pesticides and toxins out of their body. So I give them, this is just a powder, looks like sugar. They love it. It tastes amazing. This is their candy, and the bees love it. But that's all it is. It's a powder. You can do 1 scoop and just sprinkle it on the top bars. If you have a screened bottom board, you need to try to keep it on the top bars. If you don't, and it falls through and you have a solid bottom board, that's fine too. But I give them this, and I can give that to everybody, supers or not. Again, because they're gonna eat it, they're not gonna store it. And then the other one I have is still a probiotic, but this also has a lot of the B vitamins in it, and it has the Apis biologic in it, which is, they call it Canadian rocket fuel. But it's super good for the bees as well. And I like all those B vitamins, and I like all the extra zhuzh that comes in this one. The nice thing about Strong Microbials is that you can use their bee bites, you can use their direct feed microbials, their fondant, all of that stuff is made to work together. So you can give both of these things, you can give both of these at the same time. It's not gonna harm your bees. If anything, if you dump too much of it in there, it's gonna be a waste of product, but it's not gonna harm the bees. I've never given them the direct feed microbials and had any issues with dysentery. In fact, it's just the opposite. I've had bees that were clearly poisoned, and that normally they would have just died. We move them to the apiary, we give them all this good nutrition, and they don't die, and they become really healthy, strong colonies. So I believe wholeheartedly in the direct feed microbials, and I believe in the nutrition part. So everything that we do is food grade, from the diatomaceous earth that I use to the rest of this stuff. It's all organic. Nothing that's a pesticide, a miticide, nothing that's toxic for humans. Probiotics only, never antibiotics. But these are the things that I make sure are in place going into winter, is that they have what they need, and I'll redo these as I need for over the next about 3 months. So biggest thing is 22 days for your mite treatment, and make sure you have everything else in place. I love these little frame rests. I don't know if everybody has these, but these are something I'm very spoiled to. And as far as hive tools, these are my favorite, mostly because of this end. I can hook it underneath the ear of a frame this way, and then I can rock it back against the other one and lift. So these are my favorite hive tools. Everybody's got their own, but that's kind of it. So just wanted to give you guys that info.